Hey, this is Nazarek. Just going to show you a stack that I've been playing with here. It's the VAA, the Volatile Accelerator and Amplify Agony that we know previously. And as we know, the Volatile Accelerator, the thing that makes that nice is anytime we deal damage, it increases the turn meter for the enemy, which isn't so good, but it also throws a damage over time depending on the color of the Volatile Accelerator. So if you have a gray one, it puts 1 damage over time, which means 1 source of damage. If you have 1 debuff. If you have a green one, it gives you 2 damage over time. And if you got a blue one, it gives you 3. So each time it's increasing the amount of damage, because whenever you do a debuff, as you know, Amplify Agony goes and kicks off a damage. The reason why Amplify Agony is so nice is it's based off the max health of the enemy. So as your stamina runs down, it doesn't matter because the damage is still based off of the enemy. I mean, the amount of damage you do base-wise, that gets affected, but overall it shouldn't be doing a huge amount. I mean, you can have 10% and still be hitting like a truck because you're still doing... You have 2 of these guys, you're doing over 13% max damage, or max health damage to them. If you had a gray Volatile Accelerator. If you had a green one, you're doing 26 because it's now 2 sources of damage. If you have a blue one, now you're doing closer to 40%. I mean, 13 times 3, that's close to 40. So that's why when you hear me say, yeah, always upgrade your Volatile Accelerator. Grab gray if you have to, just because it starts the train. But if you get a chance to go to a green one, grab the green one over the gray. And even if you run into a blue one afterwards, grab that one over top of the green one, because there's nothing that's going to increase your damage as fast as that. Well, the twist to this I've ran into is this run you have something called Blindside. What's nice about Blindside is it adds another debuff. Well, that's like adding another layer to your Volatile Accelerator, because it adds another debuff, and the whole reason why Volatile Accelerator is good is each debuff kicks off Amplify Agony. So with Blindside, you end up adding another one. So if you had a blue Volatile Accelerator, that gives you 3 sources. Blindside would give you a 4th source. And the kicker to that is it also doesn't increase the turn meter. So I like playing with this one. It costs 2 dots, which 5 dots is a lot to be putting into adding debuffs, but I think it's worth it, especially with Amplify Agony, because that now would crank it up to almost 53 to 54% max health damage when they hit. And just to add additional fun to it, you have Perseverance, so when they attack out of turn, they do 30% less damage, but it does another full stack because it's another attack. I was struggling with my resistance team, talked to Jelly, and decided that I have a lot of nodes that are just not very good for resistance. But this mini boss node works out really well. I'm going to try to take out Veteran Han because I'd like to keep his stamina for the global feed. I'm going to see if I can just put the Trooper in there, even though Trooper is really low gear. It is even needed, so we'll hit battle on this, and just so you can see the different stacks. Pretty much there's an execution when Jedi Training Ray calls to assist to BB-8, because that's like 4 or 5 attacks, and with all those debuffs, Amplify Agony, it's incredible. So here's Emperor Palpatine. I'm going to go and use Oh My Goodness from 3PO on BB-8. And you see all those attacks right off the bat. and we just go from there. So I'm going to go and try to kill off the Marauders by using the Resistance Troopers special. And look at all the different debuffs on there. Just with his one attack, and there was no assist, I already threw 10 debuffs on them. Then there's an expose. So at this point, I've got 3PO. I'm going to have him do improvise, just throw a whole bunch more debuffs on things. Resistance Troopers up. I'm going to do a basic on the Sith Marauder. And now BB-8 is up. Normally, I'd be trying to run the convert data transfer just to start trying to get the secret intel up, but we're so close to the end already. You can see all the debuffs and damage on there. I'm just going to do basic and try to clean up. So down goes the Sith Marauder. Sith Assassin attacks and stealths. Going to point at the other Sith Marauder. And here's the fun part. So Jedi Training Ray, do the Defiant Slash, her special. I will call BB-8. And they only got 3 of the attacks out. It still should have been a few more, but it killed Sith Marauder. So just do a basic from the Resistance Trooper, throw some more debuffs. That's nice is now with 3PO, even his basic is going to throw some debuffs down and do a lot of damage. And that killed off that assassin, and we're just going to finish up by doing 3PO basic. Then we'll go with the Resistance Troopers Opportune Strike. It's a special. And then we'll just finish off with BB-8's basic attack, and that'll kill off the last one. Easy peasy. Now, I don't know if it's going to be better to go and take off Persistence or Perseverance and maybe even Blindside to try to stack it more like what we do with our conventional VAAA. I have one unstable decelerator, which would go and remove some of that turn meter that I'm throwing on with volatile accelerator down a bit. It's gray, so I wasn't too enthusiastic. Maybe I'm doing enough damage without all the rest of the stack, but another thing I could have gone is I've been stockpiling on these defensive formations. When an ally attacks out of turn, I recover 6% protection, which Perseverance, that's a lot of protection. Only reason why I haven't been doing that is I don't think the protection thing, I haven't been getting into long enough battles. It's usually like the single strikes that burn through my characters that kill them off, not so much that they're not able to recover fast enough. So you have to do that when your stamina gets low, your health and protection base gets even lower, so it makes it even easier to kill them off. So I'm just hoping to get that opportunity of hitting them and killing them with all the debuffs. So I can run this again. I'm glad that the Resistance Trooper worked as well as it did, because now I can take Vet Han out of there. And I'm not worried about losing a character or two in this fight. I'm just trying to get my Resistance global feats up. So we'll run that again. Papa Palpatine's in the lead. 3PO is up. So I'll use the Oh My Goodness special. I'll throw that on BB-8. BB-8 attacks, calls assist. R2 comes to assist. Couldn't even finish all the attacks because Emperor Palpatine was dead before then. Alright, R2's up. R2, I'll focus on Marauder, but I will throw Improvise, the burning special, across there to just throw a whole bunch of debuffs up. BB-8's up. Basic on Sith Marauder. Jedi Training Ray's up. I'm going to focus on Sith Marauder and use Defiant Slash and call BB-8. 1, 2, 3. Dead even before I could get the other ones off because Perseverance would be adding even more. So maybe I can take off Perseverance because maybe we're doing enough damage. Maybe that's what it's telling me. Opportune Strike on Sith Marauder from the Resistance Trooper, that kills him. Both Sith Assassins go stealth. I will focus on the one with the most turn meter, that Sith Assassin with 3PO using the basic. Baffling Trick. More debuffs, do more damage. Resistance Troopers up, we'll do Opportune Strike. That takes out that Sith Assassin. The other Sith Assassin counters and takes out my Resistance Trooper. So R2's up, basic. Throw some more debuffs. All right, so now we've got BB-8. BB-8, I'll do basic, more debuffs. Then I have Jedi Training Ray. Basic, let's just see if we can finish it. Nope. So 3PO's up, do a base. Actually, I'll go and do Oh My Goodness and call BB-8. And that brought everybody. So the reason why I do Oh My Goodness on BB-8 instead of like Jedi Training Ray is because it calls the assists. So this will be the 4th time in a row with the same team I cut out for the 3rd battle. But just to show you that the stamina is getting lower, 45 across the boards, except for R2, 3PO, and Resistance Trooper are all at 70. I go back and forth on the Perseverance data disk. The reason why I'm still holding on to it is this opening with 3PO being able to do the call assist to BB-8. It's just an execution at the beginning, as you can see, because he calls the assists whenever he attacks out of turn. Right there, you saw 4 attacks that wouldn't have happened without Perseverance. Resistance Trooper attacked. So if you weren't paying attention to the video, the reason why I said there was 4 attacks, BB-8 got attacked, he countered, which called an assist to R2-D2, which then Perseverance kicked off, and both of them attacked out of turn again, so that was 4 attacks. R2, with this flaming ability, throws that on there. BB-8, basic, we're going to go against Sith Marauder. Sith Marauder's got 14 debuffs on him. Resistance Trooper, basic on that same Sith Marauder. I would really... JTR's up. I would really like to do Defiant Slash, but that would be way overkill on the Marauder currently. So I will just do a basic and take out the Sith Marauder. Now we got the 2 Sith Assassins. They're both stealth. So when they attack, I don't get lucky enough to do a counter. And they just went and attacked my Resistance Trooper and took him out. So 3PO is up. And I am going to go with the one that has the special debuff on him, and I'll do the basic Baffling Trick, which throws a bunch of debuffs on him. R2's up. I will do basic. So many damage over time. Put an 18. Then the Sith Marauder, or the Sith Assassin came up, started his turn, but all the damage over time took him out. So now we've got 3PO up, and 3PO is going to do his Oh My Goodness on BB-8. This should take out the last Sith Assassin. So there's 4 victories in a row. And out of energy, so yeah, that's what I got. Thanks.